I'm going to do an insight video today, and I was just sitting there and just sitting in that space, like that sacred space, and just walking back. And like this morning, I've woken up, and there's like lots of things on my mind, sort of like just things, like daily living things, like bills and stuff like that. So that was sort of like quite sort of like present in my energy and in my mind this morning. So I was sitting there and I was just like trying to connect into the energies this morning. And I was just thinking, because there's a lot going on at the moment. So like I keep saying that, but I feel like there's a lot of conversations going on. And what I mean by this is like with your being, your sort of, your being, which is this entirety of like your consciousness, your spirit, the energies, your vibration, your frequencies, all those kind of things going on at the moment. There's a lot of conversations going on, and what I mean by that is I feel like there's a human experience going on. There's like a multi-dimensional experience going on. There's a lot of shifting and changes going on, like on the planet within your energy. So it's like I feel like at the moment it's like I've woken up this morning and I feel very connected to light frequencies, and I feel very connected to anchoring in light frequencies within the planet, within my own energy field, within my own energy. And I also feel like this creator aspect of being is coming online as well. So there's like, and then how is that integrating within your human experience as well? So there's all these things going on this morning, and I feel this um, quite strongly this morning, because over the last few days I felt like my energy's moving in, and it's sort of like it's vibrating on different frequencies, like with different experiences. And this I feel is part of what a multi-dimensional being is as well. That you're sort of like you're existing and you're vibrating and you're vibrating on these many different frequencies. And this is like a snippet of what a multi-dimensional being is, because that actually in the human form it's quite difficult to really sort of like feel uh, and integrate that, and also to really process it with our sort of like physical mind. So you have to go beyond that, and that's where this beingness comes in. Beingness to me is like connected to your source, connected to those different frequencies, those vibrations. And when you're being open. You're being open to the new information. You're being open to the new frequencies that are coming in, and you're being open to sort of like all aspects of your being, which is the multi-dimensional facet. Um, Facets, not facets. I need to correct that, because facets is like infinite sort of aspects of it. It's not just one. So as I was walking back today, I've had a lot of things going on with my mind around like the physical, and I was saying about money, bills, blah blah blah, all this sort of stuff that we go through. So as I'm walking back, then that aspect of the creator being come online, and how I can explain it is like it's like there was like a presence of knowingness that then started to express um, and dissolve fears, but it also started to create a reality that brought harmony, that brought peace, that brought balance, and it's sort of like it came in. So, I mean, I also felt with this, when this creator sort of aspect of being came in, I think a lot of the time when we're doing law of attraction, or we're doing like manifestation, or we're doing creation, we're looking for the big thing. We're looking to create the ultimate reality. And what it was trying to show me today was this aspect of the creator being deals with all aspects of reality and all aspects of experience. And it was saying to me, so the little worries that I was having, although they're worries, that they felt big to me, but they're worries, but they're not like ultimate life changing sort of not ultimate life changing, because like the ultimate life changing realities to me are like, somebody, somebody's purpose. And again, I need to talk about purpose in a minute as well, because that was something else that came in. So the ultimate sort of experience is usually that, oh, we're going to be step into our purpose. We're going to be this being a light. We're going to go out. We're going to do the ultimate thing that makes us most passionate, makes us most happy, and makes us most fulfilled. Now, each and every being, when it awakens to its purpose, that naturally happens because you step into that purpose. So this is where it's leading straight into that. So when you step into your purpose, your reality aligns with that, and it comes into sort of like manifestation. It comes into creation. And this is what I think a lot of people are talking about with this new sort of like 6D dimensional creation and creator being. This is the aspect they're talking about. So for me, the creative being also comes in on the other aspects of life, and this is where it links in very much with the master's teachings of transmutation and transformation, where it's very much around when that creative being comes online, it dissolves something, and it dissolves even the little problems, the little things. And what happens is, and like I was saying, my experience this morning was, I was worrying about things, and the creative being come online. And when that energy came online, it showed a different perspective, or it showed a different reality, or it aligned, dissolved, and showed a new vision, or a new aspect of how that reality could be, without all the worry, without all the fear, without all the doubt, without all the worry. And to me, that's part of the creator being. That's part of the creator aspect. So what I'm saying is, I think a lot of us are looking for the ultimate, when actually that creator being is already online for many of us. And what it's doing is it's dissolving, and it's removing barriers and blockages. But we're looking sometimes for the big thing, when actually it's already working on those little things. And that's an aspect of the creator being, the creator sort of like frequency. And it's about sort of like, the more that you integrate and the more that you work with that aspect and that vibration, that frequency, the more you start to go towards what will awaken that purpose of life. And when you awaken it, then it will come up, then that reality will come online. And sometimes it takes a bit of practice, it takes a bit of awareness of that aspect of the new frequency, or the new infinite self coming online. And it's about trying to sort of like work with that. There are people out there that are already living their purpose, but you also find the people, the people that do live their purpose, but they're living their purpose as well. Because like, let's look at purpose as well. Purpose, in my belief, in my understanding, works in line with your soul's purpose, the soul's purpose of being here. So when people are in their true purpose, you find it's not one aspect, but it's like what I think is it brings its that infinite peace that's needed for the design of what's going on the planet in this new realities that are coming. So what you tend to find is somebody's purpose is quite into a specific aspect of the new spiritual reality or design that needs to be awakened, that needs to be activated on the planet. So this is why people they go into their purpose, and they seem to be working in a specific area, on a specific aspect of spiritual reality or spiritual awakening. And that's when you step into your purpose. But each and every one of our purposes, as well, is to align and integrate with those new energies. Although that person is the channel, or the person that's awakened and brought their purpose, they're bringing that purpose for the whole, for the collective. They're not just bringing it for one. So a lot of it's about us then, if you come across something that resonates with you, then integrate it, because the integration is part of the awakening and is part of the shifting that goes on. And then this goes out to like I was also talking about, like light frequencies. For some reason I've always been sort of like one of these I've always been like, my reality has always been that I see things as energy and light. I always have done. So for me, light frequencies, light energies, light masters, all that kind of stuff really resonates with me. But it resonates with me because I believe like light energy is such a powerful, powerful frequency, a powerful sort of like vibration. And for a long time, like we're doing healing, um, and also sort of like if I bring healing to the planet or anything like that, I really feel like when I start working with light energies or I work with healing energies, like if I was to heal, I'd literally just imagine that person, and then I would feel like my hands and me were behind that person, and I would be holding my hands on their sort of like shoulders, but it wouldn't be me. It would be like that infinite self, or that energy of, that source energy, that energy and that light. But with light and energy, there's no distance. We're already connected to the spirit world. Everybody talks about walking, connecting with the spirit world and walking with spirit. Well, to me, it's not. You don't walk with spirit. You are spirit. So for me, in that sense, is like I am spirit. So there's a completely different sort of like frequency and consciousness to that. And the healing has always been like that, where I feel like my light, my energy is your light, your energy, and it's like we're connected by that. And so if I'm healing, my energy and your light energy, we become one. We become one energy. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So that's I believe sort of like in that way. So that with the light and energy and the light energy frequencies, there is no um, there is no disconnection. There's only one vibration. So again, this is when we start to look into this, like with the creator aspect. There's one light, there's one energy, there's one vibration. So if you are vibrating with that creator aspect or creator frequency, then your light, your energy is activated, and once your light and energy is activated, then the universe responds to that energy. But it also then, on another level, that light, that energy that activates, also then activates your soul. So it starts to the soul starts to express itself through the light and the energy, and then that will start to lead you more and more towards your purpose. So this is where the sort of like the not I don't like to say practice, but it is practice, but it's starting to be, the awareness starts to grow, your vibration starts to grow, your frequency starts to grow, the integration starts to grow, and then the reality starts to create, manifest. So it all takes time, and I feel like this is why it's so important in this time, and at this moment, that we start to do that. For me, there's lots of that going on at the moment, and that's what I mean by these frequencies. So I feel like the light frequency, the light energy needs to be drawn down. Each of us needs to, if you're that way and you're open to the spiritual like light and energy, and you feel like healing and stuff like that, and you're a light worker in that way, you really need to be anchoring in the energy. You need to be anchoring in the energy, you need to be creating as well, you need to be doing all these things at the same time at the moment, and you also need to be integrating in your human experience. So it's like, that's what I mean by there's a lot of conversations going on, and that's what I started with the the beginning of the reading going, or not the reading, the insight. I say reading, but I think reading's an old terminology. We say reading, and I think some of this is what we've got to start looking at, because as spiritual beings, um, how how we sort of like communicated, and how we sort of like experience spirituality, and like our reality on this planet is completely shifted and changed. This old energies that were still, I mean, I think readings and stuff like that, some of that is still like, that's a building block, you know for things that you weigh into, like spiritual reality and spiritual experience. But also, energy shift and change, so we're moving away from using tools now to connect to our spiritual realities, and awakening, to realizing we're the tool. So that's a massive shift. That's a massive shift from using tools to knowing that you are the tool, that you are the creator, you are this being, you have this energy, you have this light. And it's a completely different shift. It's a completely different shift in energy. And that's going to take a while for that energy to really, really integrate. It's like a knowingness. It goes deep. It's a deep sense of knowingness that blueprint is in you. And once you activate that sacred blueprint, then you can start to create, and then you can start to access, as being spirit as well. You can access the light frequencies. You can bring them down. You can work with the masters. You can work with the angels. You can work with all of them because you're part of them. So in that sense, it's like it's that awakening. So you don't need necessarily tools. Like, I mean, tools. I'm talking about, like, angel cards and that are great. They're great to develop intuition and things like that. I still use crystals. I love crystals. I never stop using them. But for me, crystals. Well, I think actually there again, I'm being corrected. I'm being corrected in my own mind. I've just been corrected by spirit, by the energies, by whatever you want to say, my higher self, something like that. So what it's just said to me is, when you're saying tools, each tool is like a source energy. It connects you to your source energy. So they are still useful. They are still relevant. So in that sense, even me talking to you that moment, something's come in, and it's listening to the reading, and it's told me that's what you're saying isn't correct, and it isn't correct because everything is source energy. So cards, everything, crystals, everything is made up of source energy. But these are like a tool. I'm going to say tool because that's what I'm being told to say. They are a tool, but they're a tool to connect you to your source energy, which is your energy, which is your creator. It's your creation. It's your vibration. It's your frequency. It's what connects you to all things, and that's what they do. So they're a doorway. They're a gateway. They unlock a door to your own source energy. I think now getting into that feeling a little bit more, it's saying the frequency and the reality of source energy is different now, how we experience it. So there's a shift in vibration and frequency. The tools are still relevant, but how you would have used them are different to how the shift in reality is now manifesting on the planet. So what it's saying is, what I was saying there before, there is like a different in the shifting of the energy. It's all source energy, but the experience of that source energy is shifting and changing. But they're still just as relevant as a tool to connect to that source energy. See, I'm sitting there, I'm doing this reading, or not reading, I'm not doing reading, insight. Um, and I'm talking about expressing light and energy and stuff like that. See, for me, when I was just doing that talk for a second ago, I'm talking about, I've gone more into my physical reality, my physical sort of like, and I'm intellectualizing and saying something, and then something's come in and said, look, no, we need to get back online with what, and correct that, because that's not the correct information. The correct information is that all of them are tools, but they're ultimately there to connect you to your source energy, because the source energy is everything. It's all creation, it's all realities, it's all dimensions, and each and every soul is to awaken to that. And this is why these tools are here. And like crystals work in that way. They've got divine source energy, and by holding them and connecting to them, they connect you to your source energy. Same thing with the cards, and the same with the angel cards. The angel cards are here to connect you to your source energy. The guides are here to connect you to your source energy. The ascended masters are here to connect you to source energy, because once you connect to that, then you become aligned again with the universal law of oneness, the universal law of vibration, universal law of frequencies. And when you start to do that, then you start to connect to the source energy in that sense, and you start to connect as a creator being, and then you can start to walk and express the light and your source energy in a way that helps to align the planet, align your own realities, but also help to shift and change and create for the planet to unify it, to bring it in union. Well, that's the insight for today.